Yo, it's Overt Flow. What's going on, you guys? How are you guys doing today? Bringing you another Black Ops 3 video, man. And today we're going to be talking about supply drops, some thoughts on them. I want to know what you guys think, and I want to go ahead and give some thoughts and changes that can and should happen to these supply drops. In my opinion, you guys, I do believe that the supply drops with the new weapons and everything are a bit unbalanced, a bit unfair, if you will, and I want to go ahead and discuss my reasoning as to why I think that. Of course, ever since supply drops showed up in Advanced Warfare and they started selling them, there were people who said this is terrible, horrible for the game, pay to win, and then there's people who say, hey, this is cool, adds more content in the game, makes it more fun. And I want to go ahead and look at both of those sides kind of and talk about it with you, and I want you to tell me how you feel about it. If you guys could, please drop a like on it. If we could shoot for 400 likes, that would be absolutely amazing, you guys. Got another video coming at you later today, so yeah, let's lay back and listen. In the background, you're going to be watching a supply drop opening and a gameplay. In the gameplay, I think I dropped like 70 kills. In the supply drop opening, I get the Marshall 16 for the 4th time with these supply drops. So of course, Activision is a company, it is a business. People spending money on supply drops is something that they want. And I don't fault them for that. I don't fault them for being a company, for being a business and wanting to succeed. I get it. At first, when Black Ops 3 dropped, they said, hey, we're never going to do anything besides cosmetic changes in the game. That's all. We're only going to do cosmetic changes. And of course, they got a little taste of the money, right? People spending thousands of dollars for the butterfly knife. So of course, they're going to put in new weapons, and that's what they did. And as of right now, since the release of supply drop weapons, since Black Ops 3 came out and the release of these supply drop weapons, I've probably used about 7,000 or 8,000 crypto keys simply to get the Marshall 16, the Garand, the crossbow. I've tried, alright? So 7,000 or 8,000 crypto keys has gone into that. I've only gotten the Marshall 16, and I've gotten it 4 times. The other weapon that I've gotten is the butterfly knife, which of course came out with the first pack of DLC weapons through the supply drop system. And I do have the butterfly knife. I've gotten that twice, gotten the Marshall 16 4 times, and those are the only 2 that I have. I've spent a good amount of money on it. I've used tons and tons of crypto keys. Obviously, just in the past week or 2, I've used about 8,000 crypto keys. And those are the only 2 weapons that I have. Now, here's the problem with it, you guys. I personally, and I want to know what you guys say, I personally would prefer if they didn't make it up to random chance in a supply drop opening. If they didn't make it a gamble and instead they said, hey, here's a new weapon, you can pay $2 to get this weapon, I would prefer that because it gives me a guaranteed weapon. Now, here's the problem with that line of thinking. If they do that, alright, if they do that, there will be people coming out of everywhere saying, yo, this is pay to win, it's unfair, you're making people pay for this, totally unfair. You know what would be even better that I just thought of? Make it $199 to buy, or make it 1,000 crypto keys just to open up a supply drop that guarantees you a weapon. You know, something like that would be awesome, because then people would earn it and then a lot of people will buy it. Do that, Activision. I think that that would be a good balance of both worlds. But if they made it so that the weapons were just simply available to purchase, which would make my life a ton easier, I'm sure it will make a lot of your guys' lives easier, because I do know that I know people who have spent tons of money opening supply drops, haven't even gotten a single weapon. I know people who have opened, saved up their crypto keys, 2,000-3,000 crypto keys, not gotten a single weapon. And then I know guys who opened up like a common supply drop and got the sword immediately. It's so random and so up to chance. And the thing is, before we talk about pay to win, I do want to say that most people don't understand what pay to win is. Now, with these Call of Duty supply drops, it is not a pay to win game. So pay to win came about more so with PC games and with mobile games, where you would literally pay to increase your high score, or pay to increase the level that you were at, or pay for that stuff where it was literally pay to win. It was pay to win the game. That's the only way you could access the the final levels or whatever that is. But Black Ops 3, Call of Duty, it's not pay to win. It is unfair, I do believe. It is unfair. It's not necessarily pay to win. That's kind of a blanket term. In my opinion, it's something to describe everything when it's not necessarily the case. Sure, in some ways you get a pay for a slight advantage with the gun, but of course, sometimes you're getting a pay for a disadvantage with the gun, because some of these guns are not as good as the guns that come with the stock game. So we have to keep that in mind as well. Mostly it's pay to have something that other people don't. That's mostly what the supply drop system is about. So we got to keep that in mind, you guys. Pay to win would be you know, if you paid and you got max prestige, all guns unlocked, that would be a more pay to win thing going on. So just a little idea, just a little thought for you guys to think about. And let's go ahead and discuss the fact that I don't believe that supply drops are fair, because it gives nobody has an equal chance, right? Everybody gets a completely random chance. Some people might have better luck than others simply because it comes down to luck. In Advanced Warfare, I made it to 22nd or 23rd prestige, and there were still a bunch of supply drop guns that I never received, right? I never got the AK, never got the MP40, never got the repulsor. Tons of guns that I never got, and that's something that I'm afraid will happen in Black Ops 3. I'm afraid that I'm going to make it all the way to the end of Black Ops 3 and never get the Garand or never get the crossbow. That's the thing that sucks, and there's no way to say that that's not possible, because there are people who are probably going to spend thousands of dollars during the course of Advanced Warfare. I'm looking at you, T. Martin. There's people who are going to do that and never get, you know, the gun or the weapon that they want, simply because the supply drops are all up to chance, right? It's a random luck factor. And I think that in order to combat this, they could either make the guns all available for purchase, either through, you know, $2 or through 1,000 crypto keys or something like that. But in addition to that, I do believe that getting the same gun multiple times should never happen in a supply drop opening. If I already got the Marshall 16, I should not get it another 4 times. If I already received the sword in a supply drop opening, I should not have to open that thing 2 or 3 more times getting the same weapon. Once you unlock something, because then it takes away your chances of getting something else. You know, maybe you got the weapon and instead of getting what you wanted, it just gave you a random one, even though you already had it. I think that once you unlock a gun, once you get a gun in a supply drop, it should automatically cancel that out for all future supply drops. It does not have to do this with every camo. It doesn't have to do this with every reticle or every calling card, but stuff that is important, like the weapons. I'm assuming most people that open supply drops want the weapons out of them. Stuff like that, as soon as you get it, it should take it out of the system for you, of the supply drop system. That way you're not wasting your time, wasting your money, wasting your crypto keys, getting the same weapons that you already have, in my personal opinion. I think that that is something that they should definitely look heavily into, because if I would have gotten a new weapon every time I unbox a new weapon, right, instead of getting the Marshall 16 4 times and the butterfly knife twice, I would have had all the weapons by now, you know. And I think that I really do feel like that takes away from the experience when stuff like that happens. In addition to that, I also believe that as of right now, the weapons have the same rate of drop as everything else. The frequency at which you get a weapon in supply drops is the same frequency as which you get any other epic weapon or a legendary item. So when they say, okay, this supply drop's going to have an epic in it, they reach into the bag, everything has an equal chance of appearing before you. Every single weapon, every single camo has an equal chance, which I don't think should happen. In my opinion, if you reach into the goodie bag of legendaries and everything has a 1% chance of showing up, I think that the weapons, because obviously that's what everybody wants. If you don't have a weapon and you're going for supply drop openings, I'm assuming you want to get a weapon. I think that if everything has a 1% chance of appearing for you, I think that the weapon should get a 2% chance or a 3% chance. That way, if you don't have one, you have a higher chance of getting these weapons, simply because that's what most people are going for, man. And of course, at the end of the day, supply drop openings make them more money than just paying $1.99 for the weapon. So they'll probably stick with it, and I don't blame them. They're a company, that's cool. But I'm a gamer, right? I play the game. I want to have fun. I want to be able to get all this stuff. I don't... Obviously, we all don't want somebody else who has the game to have something that we don't, even though we all paid the same price for it. So, just curious, what do you guys think? Do you think it's unfair? How do you feel about it? I'm definitely curious. Either way, drop a like. If you stayed till the end, go ahead and say, Krusty Krab is unfair. Mr. Krabs is in there, standing at the concession, plotting his oppression. I love you guys. Subscribe if you're new. Drop a like, and I am over and out.